Hello, this is James Daly, and in this video, we're going to be doing preaching and shouting chords in the key of B. Yes, the key of B, from easy to advanced. We're going to go in stages. All right, so here is the first progression. All right, let's spell it out. All right, so E in the bass, E flat in the bass, excuse me, D flat, E flat, G flat, B. E in the bass, D flat, E, A flat, B. F in the bass, D, F, A flat, B. All right, G flat in the bass, E flat, G flat, A flat, B. All right, A flat and G flat in the left, C, F, G flat, B flat. A and G in the left, D flat, G flat, G and B. B flat and A flat in the bass, D, G, A flat, C. B and A in the left, E flat, A flat, A, and D flat. All right, on to the next. Progression 2 is a modified version of the basic walk-up from progression 1. All right, let's go. All right, so let's spell it out. E flat in the bass, D flat, G flat, G, and B. E in the bass, D, G flat, A flat, D flat to B. F in the bass, D, F, A flat, B flat. All right, G flat and E in the left, B flat, D, E, and A. All right, A flat and G flat in the left, B flat, C, E flat, A flat. A and G in the left, B, D flat, E, and A. B flat, A flat in the left, C, D, F, B flat. B and A in the left, D flat, E flat, G flat, and B. All right, on to the next. All right, progression 3 is another modified version of the basic walk-up. We're giving you a lot of variety, a lot of different ways you can play it. All right, so let's spell that out. All right, so E flat and D flat in the left, F, G flat, B flat, D flat. E and D in the left, G flat, G, B, D. F and E flat in the left, G, A flat, C, E flat. All right, G flat and E in the left, A flat, A, D flat, E. All right, A flat and E flat in the left, G flat, A flat, B flat, C. A and E in the left, G, A, B, and D flat. B flat and F in the left, A flat, B flat, C, and D. All right, and B, G flat, A, B, D flat, and E flat. So the last two chords in that progression, you can actually use it as a shout. Let me show you. You can also do stuff like right. All right, so all I did is I changed the way I played it. So in its original form, how I did it is how I did it, right? Okay. So all I did was I took this and I just played it with my right hand. Okay. And just did it like that. All right, so B flat in the bass, F A flat, B flat, D, B in the bass, G flat, A, B, and E flat. All right. And that lick is, so that's B. You do a little rhythm. Bum, 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 and A flat and G flat, or G flat and A flat. Bum, 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 bum. And then build. All right, so what's the build? So G flat, E, B flat, D, E, and A. All right, a little glitch there. All right, and then just go back. Let's practice it slowly. Progression 4 is one more and yet another modified version of the walk up. All right, here goes. All right, so let's break that down. All right, so E flat and D flat in the left, E flat, G flat, A flat, B, and D flat. All right, so E and D in the left, E, G flat, A flat, B, and D flat. All right, so F and D in the left, F, A flat, B flat, C, and D. All right, and G flat and E flat in the left, G flat, A, D, A, B, excuse me, D flat, and E flat. All right, A flat and G flat, C, F, A flat, A and G, D flat, G flat, A, B flat and A flat in the left, D, G, and B flat in the right, B and A in the left, E flat, A flat, B in the right. Progression 5 takes the walk up to the next level. We're going to add to what we've been doing. All right, so let's spell that out. All right, so E flat in the bass, D flat, G, and B. E in the bass, D, G flat, A flat, D flat to B. F in the bass, D, F, A flat, B. G flat and E in the left, B flat, D, E, and A. G and G flat in the left, B, D, E, G flat, A. A flat and G in the left, G flat, excuse me, C, E, G flat, B. All right, A and G in the left, D, G flat, G, and B. B flat and A flat in the left, D, G flat, A flat, D flat. and B and A in the left, E, A flat, B. You can slide F sharp to A flat, and then E goes down to E flat. Here's progression 6. All right, let's spell that out. All right, so D in the bass, C, E flat, G flat, B. G in the bass, B, D, E, G flat, and A flat. E flat in the bass, D flat, G, B. A flat in the bass, C, E, G flat, B. D flat in the bass, B, E, F, A. G in the bass, B flat, D, E, A. And then you're going to do a little walk up. All right, and so that's D, E flat, F sharp, A flat. Ba-da-da-da. All right, and so, E, A flat, A, C sharp, E, A flat, C sharp. You can slide from F sharp to A flat before you hit the chord. All right. Then you bring it down. So that's E flat, A, C sharp, E flat, F sharp, B. Here's progression 7. All right, let's spell it out. B and A in the left, D flat, D, G flat, and A. D flat and B in the left, E flat, E, A flat, and B. D and C in the left, E, F, A, C. All right, so F, E flat, G, A, D. Sorry about the glitch. E, D, G flat, A flat, C sharp to B. F in the bass, D, F, A flat, B. G flat, E, B flat, D, E, A. A flat in the bass, G flat, B flat, C, F. A in the bass, G, B, D flat, G flat. B flat in the bass, A flat, C, D, G. And then, all right, so that's A flat, A, B, C sharp, E, A flat, C sharp. And you can twang it, so the F sharp, slide the F sharp to A flat. All right, everything, this stays the same in E flat, F sharp, B. All right, so that's progression number 8. Let's spell it out. All right, so G in the bass, E, A, D. A in the bass, G flat, B, E. B in the bass, G flat, A, B, D flat, E. C in the bass, G, A, B, D. D in the bass, A, B, D flat, E. F in the bass, A, B, E flat, G. All right. E in the bass, A, B, D, G flat. D in the bass, G flat, A flat, C, E. D flat in the bass, F, A, B, E. C in the bass, E, A, B flat, D. And all right, so that's B and A. That stays the same for the two. E, A flat, B. The E goes to E flat. And you can slide the F sharp to A flat. All right, that was progression number 9. So let's spell that one out. All right, so here's the first. So B, A, D flat, E, A flat. B flat in the bass, A flat, D, and G flat. A in the bass, G, B, D flat, and G flat. A flat in the bass, G flat, B, C, E. Sorry about this glitch. It always does that. G in the bass, A, B, D, and G flat. G flat in the bass, A, B, D flat, and E. All right, F in the bass, E flat, G, A, and D. All right, E in the bass, D, G flat, A flat, and D flat, and go to B. E flat in the bass, D flat, G, and B. D in the bass, C, E, G flat, and B. D flat in the bass, B, E, F, A. C in the bass, B flat, D, E, A. Right. B in the bass, D, G flat, A, D flat. B flat, D, F, A flat, D flat. A in the bass, D flat, E, G flat, A flat, B. A flat in the bass, C, E, G flat, B. G in the bass, B, E, F, A. G flat, B flat, D, E, A. F in the bass, E flat, G, A, D. All right, so E in the bass, D, G flat, A flat, D flat to B. All right, E flat in the bass, D flat, G, B. D in the bass, C, E, G flat, B. D flat in the bass, B, E, F, A. C in the bass, B flat, D, E, A. And B in the bass, A, D flat, E, A flat, and B. All right, so progression number 10 can be used for preaching and shouting. Let me demonstrate. Right. All right, so let me spell it out. All right, so D flat in the bass, D flat, E, A flat, B. E flat in the bass, D flat, E flat, G flat, B. E in the bass, D flat, E, A flat, B. A flat, G flat, C, E, G flat, B. Loop it back around. All right, so D, you know that one. D flat, E, A flat, B. D in the bass, D, F, A flat, B. E flat in the bass, D flat, E flat, G flat, B. All right, and A flat, G flat in the bass, C, E, G flat, and B. All right, so you can use that for the preacher. So here's how you can use it in shout. All right, so the lick was basically B, A flat to G flat, right? So bum, 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 bum. Right. Bum, bum. All right, so this is all stuff I showed you already. Okay, so that's one way you could use it in shout. So another thing you can do with this is after you finish doing all this, right? And then, all right, you got it. So you're just leaving the progression 10 and just going to the 1. All right, so let me show you what I did. So we transition using this chord. So A flat, G flat, C, E, G flat, B. All right, and then you go into all right, so D flat in the bass, D flat, E, A flat, B. All right, and this is going back to progression 1 we showed you, right? So E flat, D flat, E flat, G flat, B. E in the bass, D flat, E, A flat, B. F in the bass, D, F, A flat, B. There's G flat in the bass, E flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, A flat, G flat in the left, C, F, A flat, A and G in the left, D flat, G flat, A, B flat and A flat in the left, D, G, B flat. All right, and B, A, E flat, A flat, B, and then you go into right. So that's D, A flat, D, F, A flat, B, E flat, A, E flat, G flat, A flat, B. And then we did this, the build. So that's G flat, E in the left, B flat, D, E, A. All right. And so you could riff on that a little bit. And then if you want to go back into it, into the progression 10, we transition back from A flat, G flat, C, E, G flat, B, and then right, all that. All right, progression 11 is another one you can use for preaching and for shouting. All right, so here it is for preaching. So that's the first one. All right. Imagine the preacher's preaching. Right. Here's another way you could do it. Right. Imagine the preacher's preaching. Here's another way. It's the old school way. And then you can do stuff like that. Okay. All right. All right. So what is that? This is a very easy one, right? So C sharp in the bass, E, A flat, B, E flat in the bass, E flat, G flat, B, E in the bass. All right, D flat, E, B, F in the bass, D, F, A flat, B, G flat in the bass, D flat, E flat, G flat, B, G in the bass, D flat, E, G, B. All right, A flat and G flat in the left, B, E flat, G flat, B flat. Also, you can do that turn. So that's B in the bass, D, F, A flat, B, B flat in the bass, D flat, E, G, B flat. Right in this chord again, you know this chord, A flat, G flat, B, E flat, G flat, B flat. All right, and then you turn it around. So C in the bass, E flat, G flat, A, C. All right. All right. So the preacher, in the name of Jesus, we have a victory. In the name of Jesus, Satan, he'll have to flee. Tell me, who can stand before us when we call on his name, that great name, you know, whatever, you know what I mean. So, and I think it's pretty obvious by now how you could use it in shouting. Right, and you can just go back to the one on that, right, and you do your thing with that, you know. All right, so that's one of the ways you could use it in shouting. Another thing you could do, you could riff on this part. Right? You do stuff like that. So what's that? You already know these chords. So C in the bass, E flat, G flat, A, C, D flat in the bass, E, A flat, B, and you just do the lick. And you can switch off. It could be or. Right. Right. You can go back to the one if you want. Right. You can do all that too. Another one you could do for shouting. All right, so what was that? So you know this already, but we'll show you again. So C sharp in the bass, E, A flat, B, E flat in the bass, E flat, G flat, B, E in the bass, E, A flat, B, and then boom, 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 on the B. So that's G, B, C sharp, G, B, C sharp, G flat. Okay, then G flat, B flat, B, E flat, G flat, B flat, D flat. You could put a melody to it to just walk it down. So G flat, E flat, then go into the next chord. You could twang it to the A flat, slides to the B flat. Alright, then you can also do, if you're ending it, right? But you know all that, so let's show you again. E, A flat, A, D flat, E, A flat, D flat, E flat, A flat, A, D flat, E flat, G flat, B. All right, so that's something that you could tie into it as well. And so let me show you what that is. All right, so you already know this. Right. Now from there, right, so D, A, D, C, E, G, B, D. And then, so E, B, E, A, D, G flat, G flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A flat. All right, so G, D, G, A, D, G flat, A, E, A, B, E, A flat. Then you just loop that around. D, A, D, C, E, G, B, D, then back around. And then you stop there, right? And then go into more. All right. So that was, so you know that already, but let me spell it out anyway. E flat, D flat, G flat, G, B, E, D, G flat, A flat, D flat, F, D, F, A flat, B, G flat, E flat, G flat, A flat, B, A flat, G flat, C, F, A flat, A, G, D flat, G flat, A, B flat, A flat, D, G, B flat, B, A, E flat, A flat, B. All right, and then you can, from there you can go on doing the stuff that we already showed you, like if you want to go back into it, right? You got it? So you could go back into it using that transition, right? And you know that already. So A flat, G flat, C, E, G flat, B. All right, so right. That's it for that. On to the next. All right, so that was progression 12. Let's spell it out. All right, so C sharp in the bass, A, D, G flat, B flat in the bass, G, C, E, A flat in the bass, F, B flat, D, G flat in the bass, E flat, A flat, C, E in the bass, D, G, B, D in the bass, D flat, G flat, B, D flat in the bass, or C sharp, same thing, B, F, A, C in the bass, A, D, and G flat, B in the bass, A, B, D flat, and E, A in the bass, G, A, B, D, G in the bass, F, G, A, C, F in the bass, E flat, F, G, B flat, E in the bass, D, E, G flat, and A, D in the bass, C, D, E, G, D flat in the bass, B, E, F, and A, C in the bass, B flat, D, E, A, B in the bass, A, D flat, E, A flat, B.